All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely revolutionize how you approach the IELTS listening test. And the best part is, we're going to do it in just 7 days. Seriously, if you've been banging your head against the wall trying to hit that elusive 7.5 or 8 band score, you are in the exact right place. Let's just dive right into it.
So let me ask you something that might hit a little close to home. Why do you keep missing those listening answers? I mean, you're paying close attention, right? You're literally staring right at the question paper, listening to every single syllable the speaker says, and somehow you still miss it. Well, here's the frustrating trap that catches almost everyone. You're waiting for exact words. You look at your paper, you see a word like behind or during, and your brain just locks in. You sit there, hyper-focused, just waiting to hear the speaker say behind. But they never say it. 40 minutes go by, the test ends, and you're left sitting there wondering what on earth went wrong.
And this honestly illustrates the core problem so brilliantly. To borrow a highly relatable and honestly kind of funny analogy from our source material, it's like you sit waiting for Sokina, but Jarina shows up instead. Just think about that for a second. Imagine you're at the train station waiting for your friend Sokina. You're scanning the crowd, but you're only looking for her specific face. The thing is, the test makers are constantly playing tricks on you. They take Sokina out of the picture and they send Jarina instead. And because you were only looking for that exact specific match, you completely miss the answer walking right past you. The test makers will intentionally swap out the word you expect with a totally different one that means the exact same thing.
Okay, so here is the absolute paradigm shift you need to make right now. Stop calling it the IELTS test, seriously. From this moment on, in your mind, it's the IPLTS test, the International Paraphrased Language Testing System. I cannot stress this enough. Your ability to catch paraphrased words is literally the single true key to getting a high score. It is not just about hearing the words, it's about recognizing how one single expression can be delivered in a completely different way. If you can master paraphrasing, you absolutely become the boss of the listening test.
So the big question, how do we actually master this? Well, we use a highly structured 3-step action plan that's going to transform your listening skills over the next 7 days. It goes like this. Step 1, take a practice test. Step 2, map the script. And step 3, imitate the audio. We're going to break down exactly how to execute this, starting with what is honestly the most crucial step of all, analyzing the audio scripts to uncover all those hidden paraphrases.
Now, before you start panicking, thinking you need to lock yourself away and study for months, let me stop you right there. The workload here is incredibly manageable. The magic number for you is exactly 16. That's it. You don't need to finish 10 or 20 different practice books. You do not need to buy out the entire bookstore. You just need to thoroughly, systematically map out exactly 16 tests, which really means just going through 4 Cambridge books. If you dedicate yourself to deeply analyzing these 16 tests using this method, I promise you the very next test you take is going to feel incredibly easy. Let's move to step 1 and see how this actually builds up your core skills, script mapping. Listen closely here. After you take a practice test, do not just check your score and close the book. That is a massive mistake. Instead, you've got to flip to the audio script at the very back of the book. Your job right now is to play detective. You are going to actively hunt down exactly how the question's vocabulary was changed in the audio. You literally put the question paper side by side with the audio script, and you underline the exact moments where the test tried to trick you. Let's run through some rapid-fire examples of exactly what you're going to find when you do this. Say your question paper says, behind the library. Naturally, you're waiting to hear the word behind. But what does the speaker in the audio script actually say? They say, at the back of the library. See what happened? If you're just sitting there waiting for the word behind, you are living in a fool's paradise. You're going to miss the answer entirely. Here is another classic one. The question paper says, next to the postbox, but instantly the speaker in the recording changes that to by the postbox. It is so incredibly fast and so subtle. If you aren't actively training your brain to link next to with by, that answer is going to fly right over your head. Oh, and watch out for this really sneaky test maker trick. The question will use a very formal academic-sounding word, like approximately. But then in the recording, the speaker uses a super casual, everyday word, like about. So approximately 1 week just becomes about 1 week. They take the exact vocabulary you expect and completely flip the register on you. Let's hit one final comparison just to really drive this point home. Your paper says in advance. Do they actually say in advance on the tape? No way. They say a week before. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is this.
You have to listen for the overall meaning, the concept, the situation itself. You can't just listen for exact dictionary synonyms. By mapping out these 16 tests, you are essentially building your own personal database of the exact tricks these test makers use over and over again. All right, so once you've mapped the script and found all those sneaky paraphrases, it's time for the absolute secret weapon of this entire strategy. Step 2, the imitation technique. You might also know this as shadowing. This is where you go way beyond just reading words on a page. You're going to play the audio back, and you're going to shadow the speaker exactly as the words are spoken out loud. The golden rule here, you have to mimic their exact tone, speed, and pronunciation. I mean, you really have to enthusiastically copy the speaker's exact delivery. If they speak fast, you speak fast. If they emphasize a really weird word, you emphasize it too. Heck, if they sound a bit ridiculous, you exaggerate it and sound ridiculous right along with them. You play the audio, and you literally speak right over them, trying to match their voice perfectly. Why do we do this? Because you are physically rewiring and training your brain to instantly decode fast, native speech on the fly.
The power of this technique is honestly kind of mind-blowing because it offers 4 massive benefits all rolled into one. First up, it bridges the gap between what is actually being said and what your brain typically registers. Second, because you are physically speaking those paraphrased words out loud, it deepens your paraphrase recognition and permanently locks it into your memory. Third, it completely dials in your pronunciation. And finally, and this is a total mega hack, it significantly boosts your speaking test scores. By practicing listening this way, you are doing high-level, simultaneous training for the speaking module. You're literally taking out 4 birds with one stone.
Which brings us right back to that magic number we started with today, 7. Dedicating yourself to this highly focused routine, taking the test, meticulously mapping the script for those paraphrases, and aggressively mimicking the audio, it requires just 7 days of hard work. Just one single week of treating the tests like the IPLTS and committing to the imitation technique. If you do this with those 16 tests, you are absolutely going to see massive, undeniable results in your comprehension and your final score. So here is my final question for you as we wrap up this explainer. Are you ready to finally stop word matching? Are you ready to stop waiting around for Sokina when Jarina is already standing right in front of you? Go grab just 4 Cambridge practice books, get your highlighters ready, and start your 7-day script mapping and imitation challenge today. The answers are right there waiting for you to hear them. Get to work, and I'll catch you next time.